Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here, you're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports.
My next guest has got the fight of the night written on paper heading into next Saturday, UFC 288. He's going to be taking on Drew Dober. It is Matt Frevola, the Steamroller, back here on the program. Matt, how are you?
Doing good, man. Just putting the finishing touches on fight camp, and can't wait to get out to Jersey.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? Fights in New Jersey, you're fighting Drew Dober, an exciting matchup, and like I said, this has got fight of the night written all over it. Just tell me how excited you were when you got hit, when you saw Drew's name come your way.
Dude, I was pumped, man. I wanted a big fight, after the two fight win streak I'm on, and we got it, man. And I give Drew a lot of credit for accepting this fight. A lot of these high ranked guys don't want to fight down. So I was pumped when I got the fight.
Good. And we gotta talk about that last fight, man. Highlight reel finish over a guy you were supposed to fight before, and then there was, of course, the whole issue with the potatoes. How satisfying was that victory, getting it done in the first round?
Dude, it was perfect. It was the perfect opponent, the perfect venue, and it was the perfect finish. That guy needed to be humbled, and I served him some humble pie.
Yeah. How was the fan reaction after that? Because I like everyone was talking about that knockout.
Oh, it was unreal, man. It was a lot of people counted me out in that fight. He was a knockout artist. He was knocking out everybody with his hands. He was undefeated. And then I went in there and I knocked him out. So it was great, man. Just kind of reminding the world, who I am and what I'm capable of.
Yeah, and that win gets you this big fight with Drew Dober. And, saying to Drew this morning, I spoke to him. I mean, you guys are both really well-rounded, right? Like, I know you've got your knockouts, he's got his, but both of you guys have good ground games as well. How are you looking at this fight stylistically?
Yeah, I'm prepared for it all. I love mixed martial arts. I love mixing it up. But, the fight always starts on the feet. And, my last two fights, I won by knockout. But that's just because it didn't get to the ground. But we'll see where this fight takes him. I'm prepared for every aspect of mixed martial arts, and I'm ready to go, balls to the wall for 15 minutes.
What does camp look like going into this? I know you do a little bit of cross training. Was that the case this camp, or was all at home base pretty much?
It was all home. I'm home, Long Island, New York, with the Sarah Longo team, and it's been a great camp. I had about a 9-week camp, and I've been pushing it, man. I've been having a great camp. I'm healthy. I'm ready. My weight's good, and we're on point.
Who've been some of the main guys helping you get ready for this one?
I've been sparring a lot with Nazim Sarikov. He's a killer, and then Dennis Bazooka I've been sparring a lot with. And then just everybody on the team, man. We have so many killers, and now Aljo's finishing camp back home, so I'm getting some good jiu-jitsu rounds in with Aljo, and just him being around the gym again is elevating everybody and just lights a fire under everyone's ass. So it's great.
What does it mean for him to headline the same card you're going to be competing on? I mean, that's pretty cool too, and he's got this huge fight with Henry Cejudo.
Oh, it's awesome, man. We're going to bring all Strong Island out to Jersey with us, and it's going to feel like, home field advantage, I think, for sure. Aljo's going to be the bantamweight GOAT, which is, unreal. And, watching his career, his ups, his downs, and where he's at now is just inspiring to me and to everyone on our team.
As someone who trains with him all the time, and again, I know Henry Cejudo's great. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Does it surprise you how much disrespect Aljo still gets at this point with, the second Jan rematch? I think he clearly won, and all these things, right? Like, does it kind of shake your head every now and then when you see people not give him the respect that he's done as a champion?
Yeah, man, I can't believe it, but I mean, in the end of the day, they always count us out. They count me out, they count Aljo out, they always count us as Strong Island guys out, and we continue to shock the world.
Yeah, No, that's your thing. And I got to bring this up. I was talking to you off that camera. I did see just before we hopped on here, that clip from Barstool where we were talking about Jerry kind of talking some smack. How do you deal with that, man? Because like, I know for fighters, it's a different thing than other sports, I think, because you guys, you fight once and then you don't fight again for a couple months. So, there's all that target practice on social media from people. How do you deal with all that?
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls out there, and but mainly the trolls are usually like no name, like no face, like just some random, they're just hidden behind these like fake profiles, and those ones you just ignore, because they're not real people, they're just trolls.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerry has a following, man. I think the guy's funny. I like Barstool, and I thought it was. I thought he was funny, and he also has a big respect for wrestling and stuff. And I think I expected more out of him,
mm-hmm.
So I had to call him out on it, and had to tell him to watch his mouth and show some respect to us.
What's been the feedback like? Because obviously I know Barstool's got a big fan base. Or are they kind of split? They have to be split down the middle, I would think, just because again, like you're just saying what I think a lot of other fighters feel. It's like a lot of people don't understand the sport a lot of the time.
Yeah, I love Barstool. I've always loved Barstool from day one, and I got to go there and do the spinning back fist with Robbie Fox, and everybody's cool there. But I got to remind these guys. These guys are sports guys. They're into these games, baseball, football, basketball. These are games where they're shooting a ball and they're hitting a ball. We're fighting. We're in there, putting damage on our bodies, putting our health on the line, and win, lose, or draw. Anybody who steps into that octagon, is a badass. You have to be a badass to make it to the UFC. And I think that demands respect, and I think some of these guys just need to learn that, and I think they are.
Your corner for this fight, I'm sure Ray Longo. Who else is going to be in the cage with you?
Yeah, definitely. The Godfather, head coach Ray Longo, and then I got my main homie Billy Q. Me and him, that's what we do for each other. We're always. Day one we started together. Fought on the same card as for my first amateur fight ever, and then I got my brother, man, the Cheese Roller. He's been helping me out always a lot behind the scenes, and he gets my head right. So that's my corner. It's worked for the last two fights, and I ain't changing it.
No, I don't blame you, man. I don't think this is going to go to the scorecards. How do you see this one playing out?
Finish. Like you said, it's not going to the scorecards, and no matter what, I'm going to be pushing for the finish relentlessly, and I'm going to finish him by any means necessary.
We mentioned it there. Drew Dober is a huge name in the division. A win, especially a finish, where does that's got to propel you up the rankings or get you that another big opponent after this?
Yeah, no doubt, man. I plan on taking his spot at number 14. Being a top ranked lightweight in the world, and then beating up Paddy Pimblett in the end of the year.
Yeah, is there any talk? I mean, Paddy, I think he's injured right now, but is that the name you're going to be calling out after this if you get the victory?
Yeah, man, it's only a matter of time before me and him fight. The fight just really excites me. Just the atmosphere that he brings, and then the way he fights. He goes for it. He throws on the feet, and then his jiu-jitsu is top notch. So yeah, that's definitely the fight I want.
Do you think the UFC's kind of giving him guys, like, nothing against Jared Gordon, but he's giving him guys that maybe don't have that knockout power like you do? Because I think that's something we've seen with him. He does get hit a lot.
Maybe, but he's 4-0 in the UFC.
Yeah.
So he has to fight somebody
I
good.
agree. Yeah, I think we're waiting for that step up here. Before we get out of here, I'm Canadian. It would be remiss of me not to talk a little bit of hockey. Your Islanders won last night. Are you paying attention to that?
Yeah, man. We were down a little bit, but now we're coming back, and the Islanders are scrapping. We're scratching and clawing our way. I'm hoping that we get it done, and I'm also hoping the Rangers get it done, because that would be really cool for an Islanders Rangers playoffs. So that would be sweet.
What have you thought of Bo Horvat? Because I'm a Canucks fan, so we obviously traded our captain Bo Horvat to you guys, and in the market here, we're kind of divided. People are kind of upset with Horvat. I don't know why, because he made that comment about I'm in the playoffs or whatever. But I'm kind of rooting for him because I think he got screwed over here a little bit with the fact they didn't re-sign him and then they traded him. What have you thought of Horvat being over there? Because he was a big trade chip for you guys, and I know you guys signed him to a big contract too.
Yeah, man, you got to root for him, and he's part of the team now. He's part of the Islanders, and he's gonna help us, get to the next level of the playoffs. So got to root for him.
Absolutely. And we got to check your fight out, man. I can't wait for this. UFC 288 next Saturday. Matt, if there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Just thank you to everybody who, cares about watching me fight, man. It's awesome to have, people who are interested in and even want to interview me and watch me fight. And I'm really trying to share a lot of my fight camp and a lot of my personality. And we're just getting started, man. This is a big fight, and I'm gonna leave everything I got in that cage. Blood, sweat, and tears. Hopefully I won't be crying at the end, but we'll see.